God bless you and yours. That's about a half moon out there. It looks perfectly half. I don't know what the news will say it is, but that's what it looks like to me. I pray that the Lord will help me speak this morning, and that He'll help me say what He wants me to say, and maybe do it without a bunch of wind blowing. Wyoming wind is insane. But I have some things on my heart that I just feel like I need to say, and no matter how hard I try, I don't know how to get it out. Or there's noise, or there's interruption. So I just ask, Holy Spirit, help me remember everything that I need to say, or that you want me to say. Look at that sky. Holy moly. Wow. Sun's coming up in the east, and there's the moon right there. That's 100% debunked globe right there, okay? It is. We see the moon and the sun in the sky at the same time almost every day. Probably not on the equinox or the equilux or the solstice, but almost every other day for hours, the sun and the moon are both in the sky at the same time. And this matters. I'm like heartbroken hearing Christians say that doesn't matter. That truth doesn't matter. Who are you to say that? Who told you that? Where is that in Scripture? You talk about how Christians will say the rapture is not in the Bible, or the word rapture isn't in the Bible. The Lord told you how the earth is. He said how He created it, and He created it for us. And I don't know how anybody, whether you believe it's a globe or flat or a triangle, how you could say that the truth about the creation that He made for you doesn't matter, or that anything about Him doesn't matter. His birthday, His name, the crucifixion, how He came to be called Jesus, if He spoke Greek or Hebrew or Aramaic or all three, or what time He was born. Like, how could all of it not matter to you? If you're a Christian, if you love Him, if you hope for His appearing, how could you say things like, oh, we'll deal with it when it comes? You don't know when that's going to happen. As if it's a bad day or something to be not looking forward to. You wouldn't say that if you if you were looking forward to something. You wouldn't say, we'll deal with it when it gets here. But I can't worry about those things. You worry about your retirement. You worry about what you're going to do next weekend. You worry about your job. You worry about your vacation. Why wouldn't you worry about your eternity? And then, I don't know, I'm hoping that my PAGE doesn't get SHUT for this, what I'm about to say. But listen, the truth helps you see the difference between what is real and what is not. And I see watchmen all over the place that have good hearts and are seeking the Lord, but you're missing one basic, fundamental, foundational, cornerstone truth. The earth is not a spinning ball. There is not limited. That stuff we're supposed to have in our lamps. It's the lifeblood of the earth, and it isn't limited. It didn't come from dinosaurs that all decided to meet up at 3 o'clock. Hey, the world's gonna have a catastrophe. Let's all meet up in, maybe Lebanon. Let's all create an oil pool there. It didn't happen. It's a lie. This oil shortage, we're out of gas. It's a lie. The beast is our government. You gotta let that sink in. But you also have to understand that the Lord placed Nebuchadnezzar, and he placed Hezekiah, and he placed David, and he placed Solomon, and he placed Trump, and he placed Netanyahu. And we've got way too many people running around deciding if these men are righteous enough to hold their position. Their position wasn't based on their righteousness. It was based on God's appointment. And we're supposed to pray for them. And we're supposed to pray for Israel. We're supposed to love Israel. We're supposed to love our enemies and pray for them too. And I hear people saying, separate yourself from unrighteousness. Are you declaring yourself righteous above others? That's dangerous talk. Dangerous talk. Oh, there's my friend, the hawk. I'm freezing. I don't know if anybody's even listening, or if anybody will. I'm just trying to avoid the wind and say what needs to be said. The truth does matter. If you ask me to marry you and I say yes, and you are 25 years old and hoping to have children, and you find out that I had a hysterectomy and I told you I could give you children, I lied to you. Does it matter? Do you have grounds to say, hey, we have a relationship that's based on a lie? What else did you lie about, and why? Why did you lie to me? Our government lied to us. And they were allowed to. We allowed it. We allow a lot of things we shouldn't. But we have a corrupt government because we're a corrupt people. We're lawless and heartless and truthless, prideful, always blaming, looking at someone else instead of the one in the mirror. Every single day, I'm telling the Lord, I'm sorry. I don't even know how to be better. I don't know how to try harder. I feel like I fail every single day. And all I'm asked to do is tell the truth. All I'm asked to do is show more love. But I'm so angry because I don't understand how intelligent people who claim to love the Lord can say it doesn't matter. I'm telling you it does, and I don't care if you believe me or not. It's the one thing, the one little puzzle piece the Lord gave me and told me to tell the world. And more than any other group of people, the Christians tell me what I have to say doesn't matter and that I need to be quiet. Or they silence me. Or they don't want me, I don't know. Like, how am I insulting you by telling you the shape of the earth? How am I insulting you? By, my daughter's insulted because I tell her, I didn't make the rules, but you're living in sin. People don't like to hear it, but if you see me doing something wrong, I pray you tell me. I don't want to be doing something wrong. Maybe you're wrong and I'll disagree with you, but maybe you're right. And maybe you'll help me. I'm not trying to tell other people what to believe, but if you can't see your enemy, then you're walking around blind. And that's perfectly okay. If you have all your faith in Jesus, in Yeshua, if you are fearless and say, I can walk blind because I know He'll lead me straight there, that's fantastic. But it's a lot easier to have faith in someone you know exists. And that's what knowing the shape of the earth does for you. You no longer have faith in Santa Claus, believing that he's up there because many good things have happened. You know that a clock doesn't set itself. And he put a clock up there. A clock tells us what time it is. The sun tells us it's day. The moon says what time of the month it is. That half moon means we're halfway through the month. Well, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there in the beginning, but I'm guessing that the Lord started all things in fullness, the way He did Adam. Adam didn't grow from an infant. He was an adult. And so I think the moon was probably full. But then does full mean new? They've twisted our words around so we can't even talk to each other without being confused. You know, if I have a conversation with somebody and say that person is woke, well, that isn't the same thing as awake. And it isn't the same thing as awakened or awakening. And I see people argue and get in fights over semantics and words, spelling, like Yeshua. You spelled it wrong. Really? There was no letter J in Hebrew. There still isn't. And I'm spelling it wrong? I hear Christians tell me, why are you using that word? Are you Hebrew? No, I'm not Hebrew. But if I married a Hebrew, I would want to know his real name. I wouldn't say, I need you to translate your name to English for me. Jacob, Hezekiah, I need you to come up with an English version for me. My name's not translatable. I'm Jennifer, and I'm like, do I have a name meaning? They tell me it's Guinevere, but there's no Jennifer anywhere except English. But if you spell it with one N or two F's, does it change my name? If you know that our government has lied and that Satan runs all the churches, then maybe you're worshiping the right guy. But if you don't know that, then you need to understand that the Antichrist is going to be impersonating the Messiah. Not himself. He's not going to be coming as the devil and the devil with horns. So I hope you know his patterns. I hope you know what the answer is if you've got two standing in front of you saying, which one is it? You know, they've posed this question to us throughout our lives in movies like Switched, or those movies where you'd have two twins and they ran into each other and then the parents had to tell which one was which. The evil one is trying to impersonate the Holy One. He's not trying to impersonate the devil. He is the devil. So I hope you know his patterns. I hope you don't, he doesn't expect us to live up to any perfection at all, and that is grace alone. But knowing his patterns will help you know him. I know the sound when my son is coming through the door. I know when it's Jonathan. I know when it's Joe. I just know the way they walk, the way they move. And if you've been believing in this Messiah who created the earth, a ball that spins in space, and is a total lie, and you worship him on Christmas, which isn't his birthday, and haven't learned any of what those pagan things are, and refuse to face how they've tried to destroy him, then how can you defend him? He doesn't need your defense. But when you love somebody, you defend them whether they need it or not. That's just love. So, I love you, whether you hear that in my voice or not. You know, my brother says, you sound so angry. I'm frustrated. I love you guys, and the government doesn't. I have no reason to lie to you. My life has been destroyed. I have everything now that I never had before. Knowledge of the one who made us. And he speaks back. One time I went outside and I was like, Lord, nobody believes me, nobody likes me, nobody wants to be my friend. Poor me, right? I'm sorry, but could you just tell me again? Maybe I'm asking the wrong question. Show me a promise. And just let me know it's you. That was on September. This was September. Was it September? No, it was November, I think. November 9th, 10th, and 11th. I asked him to show me a promise. The first night, I go out every night and record the sky. And the first night I went out, I recorded the moon, and I was like, wow, it looks like a promise ring. The moon is like a diamond, and the sky is a sapphire blue. It looks like a promise ring up there. But I didn't even connect promise. I asked him for a promise, and there I am talking about a promise ring, but I didn't connect it. Anyway, then the next morning, or the next day, the 10th, I got up and the whole sky was like, just like you see over there, the changing colors, but the whole atmosphere. And you can go through my videos and look, the sky completely, it was like a rainbow of colors. And I woke up and videotaped it. I was like, holy cow, it looks like a rainbow out here. A promise. I still didn't get it. I still didn't connect the dots. I'm waiting for him to answer me because nobody likes me because the earth is flat. What? Well, I usually am not asleep at night. I'm always awake. I'm always looking at the sky or reading the scriptures or trying to learn something new or trying to understand something old or praying for something. I don't know. I just feel like I'm always busy and never getting anything done. And I finally fell asleep. Rarely happens. And at 3 o'clock in the morning on the 11th, my kids came running in and said, Mom, what are you doing? You didn't answer the phone. You got to go out. You should have been outside. The whole sky. There's Aurora Borealis all over the nation. And I was like, what? They took pictures and I got to see it online. I didn't get to see it for real. Because for 2 days, the Lord was answering me, and I was even telling him, wow, that's a beautiful promise ring, and wow, what a beautiful promise rainbow. But I didn't connect that he was answering me. And on the last night, I knew it. I knew he had answered me, and I was like, Lord, I'm so sorry. I didn't, but thank you. You lit the whole world up with rainbows. And of course, it was no big deal. Everybody just thinks Jen's crazy, but it helped me for a little while. It helped. And then he started showing me how many rainbows are all around us. There was a rainbow on 10-4 here in Laramie over War Memorial Stadium. It made the world news. It was in a hailstorm on a Saturday during a football game. Can't remember who was playing, but I was babysitting my grandbabies, Zion and Sarai. And the Lord told me a year earlier, wait for your rainbow. I was born on rainbow. He also told me birthday. I said, whose birthday? He told me yours, mine, and all of them. How's that possible? What in the world does that mean? Well, if you studied the calendar at all, and the calendars, you'd see this date is that day, and that day is this day, and the calendars cross over, and this day equals that day, and a 6 is a 9, and a 1 is... You'll find out that there's 311 11s in the year. It's crazy. But oh, can you see that? I don't know if I can zoom in on that. Holy cow, my hands are cold. Should I walk over there? That's pretty. Looks like some light behind the cloud. You know, these clouds disguise things. I love the way they dissipate in the morning, like the cover of darkness decides to go away. It just, whew. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh gosh. Oh, rainbows. So Charlie Kirk was here in Laramie on 4/24. I remember all these dates because they're birthdays of people I love. One of my daughter's birthday is 4/25. Charlie Kirk was here on 4/24. And then it's just odd because this is all staged events that we saw. Every single one of them. Do real people get hurt? Yes. But the story is planned, set up to hurt us. So we've got a nation full of mourners for this man that died. He would be 33 this year. But anyway, 10/4 of 2025, after I'd been trying to tell everybody, look at that. You see that hawk? He follows me around as I'm walking and talking. I swear he follows me across town sometimes. Good morning. There's doves that do it too. I saw a dove flying the other day with a baby dove on her back. I didn't know that happened. Anyway, rainbows are a symbol of a promise from God. And I wish I could find somebody else who recorded or kept record of a rainbow that happened, that they experienced. Because this rainbow over War Memorial Stadium, it on the 11th of July, it will have been 280 days of pregnancy and a promise. So I don't know what's about to be born for Laramie, but I know something is. I wonder if something is about to be born for the whole world, but I'm always trying to remain humble and think maybe this is just for me. But I don't think so. This was worldwide promise, and it was worldwide rainbows, and it was worldwide seen hailstorm, and it's just what the Lord tells me to say. Just tell him. Tell him the things I show you. And I'm trying. Hi. Look at this, I don't know what's going on here. I hope he doesn't eat that bird. Or it might be one of... What are you two doing? I hope you didn't just eat their children or something. I hope those are baby hawks talking to their... Oh, I'm afraid you're gonna get killed and I can't watch. Oh, I know they gotta eat, but when that hawk's ready to eat, he just tears it up. And my heart breaks to see anything get shredded. That's why I'm on here. I don't want to see any human suffer. And I know it's gonna happen. But I have to know I tried my hardest. I tried to be kind. I tried to be loving. I tried to be confident. I tried everything that I could think of. I tried to read the Bible and talk online. I tried to write. I tried to read the Bible again and again and again. I tried to fast. I can't stand to see anyone suffer. It isn't about me, though. I'm just doing what I feel I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to love you. And if you loved me, you would tell me if a train was about to run into my face. And there's a train about to hit us all. Don't be angry. Let go of it. You start to wonder, well, if that's the truth, then that means this person is... Just say yep and forgive him and move forward. Well, that would mean our entire yep, just forgive him and move forward. Well, that would mean that my grandpa, yep, forgive him and move forward. I had to come to terms with really ugly things. But the truth is, oh, we are headed for so much more. You are not meant to experience the wrath of God. That's intended for the ones who have picked on us and manipulated us and lied to us and stomped on us. But we have to be smart enough not to have Stockholm Syndrome and protect the enemy. Defend the enemy. You do know there's many people that run their cars on water and they get these things off of Amazon. And they learn how on YouTube and TikTok. But the government has convinced you the media lies, so people go, I'm not watching it. You should watch a snake. You should never turn your back on something you think is going to bite you. That's not wise. So, You should be watching the news to see what they're telling the Republicans and what they're telling the Democrats and what they're telling the alien globe believers and what they're telling the Christians. You should be in the churches listening. What are they telling the people, or what aren't they, is a better question. Why aren't they telling them what time it is? Like, I'm not good at this. I wasn't expecting to wake up one day and find out what time it was. And he didn't say you have 5 minutes, you have 6 years, you have 30 days. He just said, I'm coming, and well, it sounded urgent. And had he said it's going to be 6 years, I probably would have waited until 5.5 later to say anything. The point was, he wanted me to speak, and so I am, and it's terrifying to me. You can ask all the nurses I ever worked with. This one, Darlene, I used to throw up before a group. My knees would shake. The patients knew. Jennifer's standing here trying to give us advice on illness, and look at her. She's having a nervous breakdown. But I could not stand in front of people and talk. And I still can't. But I'm doing it because the Lord said, go and tell them. Like, they don't care what I say. And that's all right. You don't have to care what I say, but you should care that that's flat. And that you've been lied to by your government and your churches and your schools. My grandma was a school teacher. She taught 2nd grade, and she's probably the one who taught me about the globe. I guarantee you she didn't intend to hurt me. I was a nurse. I gave many, many, many of those, seasonal injections. And I believed that they were what they tell us. It wasn't the case. And we are responsible for what we do to other people, even if we don't know. If my little 2-year-old grabs a gun and someone gets hurt, does he know what he did? Who's responsible? Me. I can see things that apparently others can't, and there's many of us that can. At different levels, I guess. I'm sure there's people that can see way more than me or different than me. But you gotta see creation. That's the foundation stone of everything here. Without the earth, we wouldn't be here at all. When you decide to have a baby, you create a home, an environment. You baby-proof it, you get your baby a crib, this is what you do when you prepare for children and a family. And this is what the Lord did with us. He prepared for children and a family. And he prepared armies, legions to watch over and protect us. Some of them said, I want to play with them. And they're going to get spanked. You don't want to follow them. They were stuck down here. Where else are they going to go? But we aren't told about them. We're told that those are fantasy, fake, not real, supernatural kind of stuff. Supernatural stuff is real, and the globe is fake. Dinosaurs are fake. Oil shortage, water shortage is fake. If there's no water, it's because the Lord said none. If there's no oil, it's because the Lord said none. Not because the government ran out and we didn't blow up people. And now, in the middle of this crisis, the whole, I don't know what's going on with Americans, but I see people, first they were supporting the war with Iran, because the people in Iran were begging, help us, help us. They killed 4,000 people in more than that, a lot of people. And then as soon as the war begins, we're like, free, them. It's the government. Oh boy, here comes a train. That's gonna silence me. Maybe that's good. I want you to know that this every other day we see oil going south, weapons and tanks going north. Not sure if the tanks are full or empty, but they're headed for Denver. And I don't know. Just prepare. If you just take my advice, prepare to go home. Because your Father loves you and He can't wait to see you. There's nothing He wants more than you to come home. And we aren't from here. We're having an experience. And I hope you feel blessed by it. How else would you have learned patience? My son says, "Oh, I'd be faster if somebody would just take him." I'm like, yeah, that's the point. You needed to slow down. Now you have to walk real slow to the trash can to take it out when your 2-year-old is running beside you, going as fast as his little legs will carry him. We aren't intended to whiz through life and figure it out all quickly. You're supposed to stop and smell the roses and look at the sky and notice the obvious. Not wait for a scientist to tell us a lie. In my head, I hear Poindexter on the synthesizer in Revenge of the Nerds. And this is how I see humanity. All the, I don't know, good-looking Studley Dudleys got all the girls, so the scientists decided to take over the money. And that's how you get the girls. It's really sad. But we've been completely lied to by the science community, because any real scientist will tell you the globe is debunked. I don't know if you can prove what's up in the sky, or how what's up in the sky proves what's down on the ground. But if that's what you need, go find it. Go figure it out. But NASA and our science community, they aren't going to fund that. They're funding the lie, and that should concern you. It concerns me. It concerns me that I have a 6-year-old grandchild that when I ask her what's the shape of the earth, that she looks around to see who's looking. She's not even been in kindergarten. She's just finished kindergarten. And it's already ingrained into her that we live on a spinning ball. And we evolved from monkeys. But she also believes in Jesus. The two don't go together. They just don't. It doesn't matter if you say, well, I believe in Jesus, even if I believe in the globe. Well, that's fantastic. I believe in the devil, even though I believe in God. It's which one do you follow and worship? If you're following the beast system, then you're not following God. Even if you're a good person, good people don't get to go to heaven. Saved ones do. Covered in the blood of the Lamb, loved the truth. Did not fall for a deception, but instead had a love of the truth, that they be not deceived. That's who's going to be there. Not that I tried to be good enough, and so I was saved by my own behavior. Believing the truth isn't a behavior, it's a choice. So, I challenge you, I encourage you today to go out and do your own experiments, instead of trusting the science guy who gets paid to tell you a lie, or the church guy who apparently gets paid to not tell you the whole truth. Plausible deniability. I don't know. I don't know what they're up to or why. My conscience wouldn't allow me to know all this and not tell. But if you experienced what it's like to try to tell the truth, the world says, whatever, idiot, you're out of your mind, shut up, or I won't talk to you anymore. And it hurts. It hurts. It hurts to lose everything you own. It hurts to watch everyone you love disappear. It hurts to walk alone. But, you know who shows up when you're alone? The Lord does. When you silence the world, the technology, when you silence it all, and you seek Him, that's what He wants. He wants to be sought so He can reveal Himself. The King of Kings, Lord of Lords, the God of all creation, the maker of you and everything you love and have ever loved. And He loves you even broken. That's the point. I hear people claiming, we are the new Israel. Okay, good. Be it then. Ezekiel 16:15, something like that, says that in the end times, she makes Sodom and Samaria look like righteous sisters. If you want to be Israel, go for it. But the Bible says to pray for Israel. It doesn't say figure out who she is, define her, genetically test her, and decide which part of the land is hers. But if you think that God took and made America, Israel, okay, that's a big chunk of land. He's famous for only taking a tiny bit. I'd say Israel. And Joseph being buried there, that's, I don't know. You know, I don't know how you can believe the scientists who are telling you live on a spinning ball, but you won't read the Bible and believe what's written. The Lord never said Israel would be righteous. It said that through her, we would be grafted in. He called the Sadducees and the Pharisees the synagogue of Satan, and then He hung on a cross and died. Anyway, He never said, I declare divorce. He died anyway and rose again. He conquered everything in His walk, like in order. You should see it. It's unbelievable. The first, look at that. Can you see those corpuscular rays? That's a local sun. A sun that's 93 million miles away doesn't shine up into the sky. It doesn't shine in a fan. It would shine straight down. But we're not going to say the sky tells us what the shape of the ground is. We're just going to say that's flat. There's no curve. You see mountains in the background, and we're in the middle of the bowl. Middle of the Laramie Plains Basin. There's no curvature. And the moon is up there in the sky. Right there. And you see the sun coming up. The globe is debunked. I don't know what you think the earth is. As long as you know it, the globe is debunked. And your government is lying to you. And that means you need to really think about things right now. They've lied to you about what time it is. They've lied to you just about everything. But are you a person who's going to get angry, get mad, and get even? Or are you going to listen to the Bible where it says forgive and remove the plank from your own eye? And that includes the ones in government who go to islands. You have to forgive them. Vengeance is mine, thus saith the Lord. We don't have the right to pay these people back. the Lord has that, if somebody hurt my child and the guy next door came along and smacked the girl, I might appreciate it a little bit, but really what I want to do is deliver my own. And so I get it if you lost your child to something like that, wanting revenge, but the Lord said, vengeance is mine, and we don't have the right to pay back Hollywood. We don't understand why any of them did do what they do. But I can tell you one thing. Adam was created that he could eat and live off the land. He didn't need meat. And these that were created without the permission of God don't have his life force with them. And so they have to get it. They have to eat it to remain young, to remain alive. Anyway, just read the Bible. All the basics. He only left you basic instructions before leaving Earth. You can go deeper. You can read about Adam and Eve, and you can read about Enoch, and you can read the Torah, and you can learn Hebrew, and you can learn Greek, and you could read the Septuagint. There's so much more than just the Holy Bible. But the Holy Bible has God's stamp on it that you can trust it to tell you the truth. And then you got to pray for discernment, for the Lord to help you through the rest. And he will. Okay, well, if I never get to speak again because of what I said, I love you all out there. And I'll be praying for you until my last breath. I hope every day that the Lord waits. I know that he will, but I always remind him that that's okay with me. Not that it's up to me, but I'd want him to wait if it was me they were waiting on. But if you're an anxious rapture waiter, one just dying to get out of here, you gotta go out and tell others. That's why you feel that way. You feel that way because the heaviness of life has taken over, and the joy of what's coming has been buried in it. So I just encourage you. I know it's hard. I have nowhere to live, and I'm always wondering where the next rent is going to come from, and food. But the Lord always touches a heart, and then it touches me. And it makes me remain humble. I have no chance of developing any pride. And maybe it's intended that way. But anyway, I'm going to go pray for Israel, pray for all mankind. Pray for Iran and Turkey and our leaders and the ones that eat the little ones, and pray for your friends and your family, and pray for yourself. I love you, and I hope you have a good day. God bless you.